Hi, I'm Barry Edwards, Principal and Creative Director of Edwards Communications.
And I'm Mark Tennant, and I'm the social media guy and the content marketing guy for Edwards Communications, and it's happy hour.
It is happy hour, and this is our Friday recap, where we are coming at you from the pub on Lee, and just for a quick beer, talk about what went on in our busy weeks, and mostly to debate our weekly online topic. This week it is about content marketing strategy.
Content marketing strategy, social media strategy, a lot of it's the same thing because with good content, you've got to have a way to put it out there. Yes, on your website, of course, but a really good way to reach folks now, social media. And, in web development, content marketing, social media, all kind of dovetailing these days. And Barry, from the web development side, you've... over the years, you've been web developing for a long time, even back into the 90s. You talk with these business owners and so forth that have had websites from the 90s, but now they're revisiting it. They're realizing that social media, content marketing, hey, there may be something to that, and you have to sit down with these business folks. I mean, what do you say? How do they ask? How do you go about convincing them that content marketing and social media is a great way to get their message out there?
Yeah, great question. The first thing I do ask is, how do you intend to market yourself? And I get a lot of different answers to that, but some of the most famous ones are, I want to be at the top of the Google page rankings.
Yeah,
and
them and 50 million other people.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So even if they come from that angle, or if they're coming from, I've heard of this inbound marketing thing, I want to kind of start posting on a blog or something, it comes back to the same conversation. It's, you need a content marketing plan that is doable and that will work within your time constraints, within your just mental budget, what you have working for you. So that is first and foremost, is that it has to be doable. It has to be sustainable, because one statistic that is always in the forefront of my mind, and I see it from time to time, is that 90% of companies that start a new content marketing strategy fizzle out. They have the most grand plans, and they go to implement it, and then they find out how hard it is, and they're not getting 100,000 followers overnight, and they fizzle out.
Welcome 90%
to the club.
Of them.
They quit doing it.
It's really all about a good strategy, right? I mean, it's okay. We're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, but if you don't have yourself a schedule and maybe 4 or 5 weeks out of knowing what you're going to talk about from week to week, I think that's kind of where the ideas they just don't know where to go, and then they just get frustrated. They don't see the traffic, and they quit, right?
Well, that's absolutely right, and that's going to possibly be our next podcast. Is about the development strategy of how to do content. But you are absolutely right. That kind of overall plan is imperative. But back to my top 3 things that I tell people, I'm doing like all site redesigns now. Very seldom is it, this is my first website, and so it is. I'm consulting an awful lot about content marketing strategies right now, and I hit them with these 3 main points, and that is, I already mentioned, a doable and sustainable strategy. The second is, and equally as important, it has to be high quality content. I know you're going to agree with me on that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has to be high quality content. If you put your time and energy in just to put up so-so content, those valuable prospects that you had will be gone and not come back if it's so-so content.
Right.
There's just too much other better stuff out there. So take the time and make sure that it's as good as it can be. So my final most important point is repurpose your content. And I say it's synonymous with recycling.
Yep.
We have a bit of a difference of opinion on it.
That's all right.
for most of my clients, again, to make the whole strategy sustainable, there's so many social media avenues out there right now.
Correct, yep.
And then there's white papers, and then there's the e-newsletters. There's so much that we're supposed to do with content in order to bring them in and impress our prospects and turn them into customers, that I say, okay, let's start with that blog. Go ahead, make those great posts, this high-quality content, and then I can automatically feed it out to different avenues of social media. But this is really where you come in, because you kind of get a little more specific with all these. Well, frankly, you get a lot more specific because you do a lot of measuring and statistics and different things like that. I just set up the initial framework.
Right.
So let's hear about your thoughts.
Well, I mean, the first thing, and it'll be quick, my 3 things that I want to talk about. Then the first thing, and we'll get into these over the next few weeks in our vlogs and podcasts, what we'll be doing. But the first thing I always say, and no matter what you're doing, I don't care what business you're in, I don't care what your message is, everything has to be about mobile. It has to be about on the phone. Look at people. Where are their faces? Every single day, every minute of the day, 24/7. They're in their phones. When you're thinking like, okay, I'm on my Facebook page, I've got a great cover photo that I'm going to be changing out weekly, which is a great strategy. I mean, to get people's eyes on your Facebook page and get them interested to come back and see your new cover photo in their newsfeed. But if that cover photo doesn't look good on the phone, how's
Very
it look
true.
on the phone? You've got to test for that.
I got to back you up for a minute on this, because this is a really important statistic. 2 e-commerce sites that I run, I have just redesigned. I'm in the process of redesigning the second one because our analytics are showing that already 40% of our audience are coming from mobile devices.
Right.
That's crazy.
And
it's only going to go up.
Yep, and same thing with a couple of clients that I've had before we got together. Same thing. They're getting a really, really good push off of Facebook, and that's also including directing people from your social media platforms back to your website. We'll be talking about that in weeks to come as well. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, again, mobile, but engage people and listen. Once you put something out there, if somebody comments, comment back. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Very true.
Twitter is such a great platform for engaging. It's not like Facebook or Google Plus or anything where they have to like you or plus you or follow. You have to put them in circles and so forth on the Google Plus side. With Twitter, you can do some searches. You can find out who's talking about your business or your type of business. No matter where it is, you can just jump right in the conversation 24/7. It is one of those things where you could just jump right in. So engage and listen. And most of all, listen. It's not all about selling. If people have been to if they know your name, even if they've never been to your place, they know what you do. It's not about selling. It's about listening and engaging.
I got to back you up on that because that's such an important point. And I would just want to add, know your target audience, as if you can personify it into one person, the sex, the age, everything, and know that he's saying one thing, or she, at all times.
Yep.
What's in it for me?
That's it.
That's what they want to know.
That's exactly
Quit talking at me and talk with me. Give me valuable information that is going to entertain me, hold my attention, and make me do my job better, or whatever it is that you're really trying to sell.
That's it. So, think about mobile, engage with your audience and listen, and it's not about sell.
High quality content.
High quality content as well. Content ideas are coming up here in future vlogs as well. But it's happy hour. I'm going to get ready to celebrate a Friday night.
It's Friday.
Cheers, buddy. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yes.